morning, everyone, and welcome to Good Morning Greyhounds. I'm your host, Naya Ortiz, and we have two very special guests. One where you might be very familiar with our furry friend. We have with us Grady and his handler, Coran Sigman.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. Look, so now you know what I have in my hand for you. I've done my research on you, Grady boy, and I have your favorite snack on campus, a pup cup. So how many times do you guys get pup cups?
Oh man, I try to limit his pup cup intake to once a week. As much as he loves his whipped cream and his pup cups, and as much as students love getting them for him, it can mess with his stomach sometimes, so we try to limit those a little, but this is great for him, and he's clearly loving it.
Yes, for sure. Hold on, let me get a close-up on this, because ASMR here, oh yeah. Yeah, I know you're loving that, Grady. He has it everywhere. I'm obsessed right now. So, with you actually graduating from UIndy, congratulations, by the way, on all your achievements. There has to be some sort of special connection with you still being here after graduation and throughout your entire, college experience. Can you please tell me your connection with Grady himself and just the school?
Yeah, so I actually transferred to UIndy in 2011 as a transfer student here and fell in love with campus. I fell in love with campus before I even came here. I had reached out to professors beforehand just to kind of gauge interest in where I wanted to go, and they gave me such great conversation and great attention that I knew if they were willing to do that when I wasn't a student, I couldn't imagine what they were willing to do when I was a student. So,
definitely,
yeah,
for sure.
Transferred here, graduated with my undergrad in 2014, and loved my experience so much that I just didn't leave. I worked immediately in the alumni engagement office. I did annual giving for a couple years before transitioning to alumni events and social media, and then for pretty much the last 7 years, I ran the. I know.
He's like,
go ahead, keep talking, Mom. Yeah. I ran all of the alumni social media. Oh no.
He'll pick it up.
Oh, perfect. Alumni social media, communication, everything, events, everything. So it was a way for me to stay connected to UIndy, not only as an alum and a staff member, but then working as an alum in the alumni office, I got to connect with so many alumni from generations. And just, it was something so fulfilling to have, someone who graduated in 1962 come back and tell me about how much they love campus and love the students. I know, he's like, let me just help here. So it's been amazing. And then just recently, I was able to transition to the university marketing office and brought Grady with me over there. And I was doing marketing and communications for alumni, and now I get to help the university on an overall grand scale with marketing and communications. So
right, and that's amazing. I've definitely been keeping up on your work, and I know you run Grady's social media pages as well as you used to run the alumni pages as well. So can you tell me a little about what you do now and how everything goes with running his social medias and just being with Grady in general?
Yeah, so Grady is on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
I follow all.
Thank you. You should too.
Yes, everybody at home, please do.
Yes, it's at UIndy Hound on all platforms. We made it nice and easy for everyone.
Yes.
So again, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And so I handle pretty much all of his messaging and all of his voice. So anything that comes from Grady, I handle and I manage. And then on top of that, I also manage. So our marketing office on campus is in sort like a public relations firm. So there are 5 managers between university marketing and admissions marketing, and we all serve different clients. So my clients are advancement, alumni engagement, professional edge center, registrar at times, and come here, Betty. Good boy.
Very good boy.
Yes, he's so sweet. And I know I'm leaving one off, but so those are my clients and so I handle any of their needs for big communication or any sort of help that they need to market any of their events. Speaking of events, I also handle things like commencement and homecoming. So all of those commencement emails, all of those marketing emails that you may get for homecoming, that was all me. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's so with him being a retired racer and all, and him coming straight from Daytona, Florida, you special buddy. How is his physical exercise routine now? Does he still sprint? Does he still do things?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, so a lot of people think that as racers that they need to run as consistently as they did as a racer, when in fact he takes retirement very seriously. I have a big wraparound yard. And so he has created like his own little track in my yard that he gets his zoomies out every day. I would say 2 to 3 times a day, but no more than that. Between all of those zoomies, he just sleeps on the couch. He's a big couch potato. In my office, he has like a triple XL king size dog therapeutic bed.
Wow! You deserve it, buddy.
Yes, he deserves the world. So no, he doesn't run as extensively as he did when he raced, but he still gets his daily zoomies, and then he sleeps most of the time. Oh, he's gonna lay down.
I love. Because why are you so adorable?
He's like pup, cup, and done.
Yes, he said, you know what? That was my segment for today.
Yeah, he's like, this is cardio is cardio. Like,
yeah, oh, I love that. I truly love that. That is amazing. So in terms of a day in the life with you and Grady, I know I see you guys all around campus, and I know you guys have to see them as well. You know, they are hard to miss. He's just there, and he takes up all the spotlight, and he is a ray of sunshine. Like, please, oh my God. Are we getting a zoom in? Oh, thank goodness we are. Yes, get all that cuteness. So what does a day in the life of you and Grady look like, you know, whenever he's not napping?
So we get here in the morning. He's probably on campus, I would say, a minimum of 4 days a week. Sometimes he's here all 7, depending on the events. But so we immediately go check in with the marketing office, and I try to get kind of a hold on what all of my tasks are for the day. And then depending on requests that he has or meetings that I have, anywhere I go, he goes essentially. So if you see him sometimes walking with me, we could be walking to a meeting or walking back from a meeting where that's a good time for him to connect with other people on campus.
Yes.
I know today alone we're meeting with admissions, and then we have a December commencement planning meeting, and celebration of the flags is today as well. So he'll be out and about at all of those things.
Yes. And what time is celebration of the flags?
It is 2 o'clock today, 2 to 3. It's going to be awesome, and then it's followed immediately by the International Expo. So it's very exciting to see the international student presence on campus.
It really is. The diversity among is truly amazing. And Grady will be there.
That's right.
Like, yes. So he's ready for it now.
I know. He's like, I'm already out. Like, and so that'll be really exciting.
For sure.
And then, so sometimes in the evening we'll come back to campus. He's truly a university dog. So I never want anyone to think that he only supports athletic events or only supports certain academic departments. Like, he's 1,000% requestable, and I try to make sure that all of those requests are fulfilled.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that myself, but I knew, you know, he's been around, and, you know, he's very, like, you guys are so welcoming, you know, he's always trying to meet new students, it's so amazing. But I did not know you could request his time and his presence. Like, wow, that is truly amazing. So get with it, guys, because I know I will.
And you can find that on his website. His website is uindy.edu/Grady. And all of his information. You can also find coloring pages, like phone and computer wallpapers on there. We stay tuned. We may or may not be carving a pumpkin with a Grady stencil that's available on there as well. And then his appearance request form is there too.
I love that. Oh my goodness, I'm checking that right after this.
I love that.
A Grady stencil, come on now. That's going to be my pumpkin
now,
this year.
Now, I will say it is moderate to advanced. It is his illustration, and it is not for the non-artistic people like myself, but we're going to give it a go.
So I know you were the prime advocator to have a live mascot back at UIndy.
Yes.
So what was that experience like for you, and why did you want the live mascot back? I mean, besides that, you know, they're just too adorable, but come on now.
Yeah. So if you talk to President Rob Manuel, he would say that I bugged him so much as a student here. Like, why don't we have a dog? Like, it can do so much for the school. And so it all started back in 2019. There's an event or a day called UIndy Day every year where we celebrate why we love UIndy, why we're so excited to be Greyhounds. And we were prepping for that year's event and trying to think about, you know, what would get everyone so excited. What would be one thing that people would be so just excited? That's the best word I could use. And a dog got thrown out. And I said, oh, I don't think so, everyone. Like, I don't think it's going to happen. I've tried since I was a student here.
Yeah.
But we decided to pitch it anyway, pitch the idea, and it got past the first approval and then the second approval. And then it started to get serious, and they needed someone to work with other universities that have live mascot programs.
Right.
And I volunteered because it was kind of a pet project, no pun intended at that point.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I went and talked to Butler and Yale. Yale has the first mascot program ever recorded. And so just got to meet with other schools about what they do and how we could incorporate it here. And I felt like I was elbow deep in all of this research. And then when it finally got approved all the way up to the very top to officially get the dog, then we needed, before we could move forward at all, we needed a handler. And
for sure.
I always like telling this part. I originally said no.
Really?
Yes.
I couldn't even imagine.
I know.
I couldn't even imagine.
I originally said no because I was terrified of how big it could be.
For sure, and it's a big job. It's a big response. I mean, everything that you've listed, I'm not sure I could do that. And I bet people at home are just like, you know, it's just a dog. You walk around a dog, you take him to meeting, you know, it's so much more than that.
And I went home and cried for like 2 days about saying no, and came back and I said, please let me do it. And thankfully they were like, we knew you'd come to your senses and you would pick it. And so then, we worked with Greyhound Pets of America. We knew at that point Florida had just banned greyhound racing. So yeah, it would have been
perfect time.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it would have been so irresponsible of the university to go through a breeder and get a puppy at that point.
That is very much true.
And you know, we never made a stance against that. I know some schools thought that we were saying breeder mascot like are bad, and it wasn't that. It was just thousands of dogs in Florida needed a home at this point.
Exactly.
And so we decided to keep with tradition from 40 years ago and adopt. But from there, Greyhound Pets of America were great. They made me read books on greyhounds. My home got inspected.
Wow.
My dogs were, they had to meet greyhounds to see how they would interact with a greyhound because they have unique personalities. So it was a much more intense project or process than I thought it was going to be, but it ended up being great. And they actually brought 2 dogs from Florida up for us. So they had what is Grady now, or who is Grady now, and then they also had another dog come up from Florida. And I got to meet both of them, and I met Grady first, and it was like love at first sight.
Yes, I can only imagine.
I really wish any of us that were standing there had thought to hold out our phones, because to see him be free in the backyard and run the way that he ran was just so. I know it was so emotional, and he even stopped and looked at us like sorry, and we're like, go run, buddy, like go have fun. And my dogs loved him, and you know, my dogs taught him how to be a dog, and he's helped them stay young and unfortunately get over the loss of one of our dogs. But had he not been there, I'm not sure my other dog would have handled it as well. And so it's been a mutually beneficial partnership for my family and for Grady.
That's amazing. Well, that's all we have time for right now, but I have so many more questions as soon as we come back right after this short break. Welcome back, Indianapolis. Thank you so much for joining us after that quick break. We have way more to talk about with Coran. And you know, Grady's taking a little nap, but hey, he's on company time right now, so let him do that. Speaking of company time, I have been hearing that the Denver mascot has been making $650,000 just to be a mascot. Oh, 625. My mistake. I was 25 grand off, but hey.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, no. So Grady, he runs on love for the university. We will say that. And he came here. I will tell everyone it was a $250 adoption fee for Grady. And all of that was how much money we put into the program, essentially. And it's been great because this is a learning opportunity for our students. A lot of students ask, you know, how much of my tuition money goes towards Grady's program? And I am very proud to say that it's zero.
Right.
Zero money from students, or $0 from students goes to his program. It's run completely on philanthropic gifts, which is amazing. Which means people in the community, parents, friends, students even support him in a way that they want him to be here without it coming out of money that's meant for your education.
That's truly amazing. And so with Grady is basically, he is his own brand. And you know, of course, so is the University of Indianapolis, and he's the face of the school, basically. So how does all that branding process work, and you know, everything that goes around in that?
So in 2019, the university unveiled a new brand, and right about the time that we were rolling everything out, the world shut down from COVID. Same way with Grady, but so you have essentially, he's not going anywhere. You have the overall university main branding and messaging, and he is a vehicle underneath that brand to get messaging and get branding out into the public.
Right.
And so he does have his own voice. His voice is more goofy and fun and can be a little bit more silly over, the university's branding, which needs to be strong and confident.
Definitely.
And welcoming to students who, anyone, not just students, anyone who wants to engage with that brand.
For sure.
So, but we do run into, he's becoming so popular, and I love that so many people love him, but, putting his face and his branding and general UIndy branding on things can get a little tricky.
I bet.
Yeah, so it's just a learning process for all of us, including myself, on how to best handle when anyone accidentally, no one's intentionally doing it, but misuses his branding.
For sure, exactly. And I bet that's, a whole ordeal when, stuff like that does occur. So I know we were talking recently about Grady's wardrobe, and we all saw his cute little red sweater. I'm gonna have to get one to match because
it's so warm.
It is so adorable. Like as I said earlier, he is styling and profiling.
Yes, he embodies crimson and gray every day.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I love that. So, speaking of his wardrobe, how many other things does he have? Does he have any UIndy branded stuff?
Yes. So, Grady, God love him, is one of the most awkward shaped dogs I've ever encountered. And so finding things for him is increasingly difficult. But when I do get things, then I work with someone to make sure that there's branding on them. I have a Cricut that sometimes I'll create things and make sure that it's branded correctly, because like you said, he's the face at times. So when we're out at a community event and people are walking up and petting a dog, then they look on his bandana or look on his coat or look on a sweater that he's wearing and it says UIndy, then that kind of continues the conversation of who is he, and what does he do and where are you from kind of thing.
Right, definitely. And of course, I saw on Instagram his Halloween costumes and such. And I know you said there's more to come, so everybody stay tuned.
Yes.
So in terms of the UIndy wardrobe that he does wear and the branding of UIndy now, so now it's in all caps. Do you mind putting your input on that, or like why that came about?
So we realized, and they did a brand study. So typically when brands are interested in rebranding, or organizations are interested in a rebrand, you conduct a brand study and you get feedback on how people interpret what your current brand is, what words you want, what type of, they'll send sample products that you currently are using and get feedback on those.
Right, okay.
And we just realized that as much as the older branding, people were used to it, it was becoming outdated, and even the typefaces themselves felt a little older and dated, and we're far too advanced for a university to rely on that. And so we just think that the new branding, all caps, very bold, very just
out there.
Yeah. And that's what we want people to recognize. We want people to realize that we are not the best kept secret in Indianapolis anymore. We are the institution of Indianapolis and the namesake. So the branding was a part of that bigger process to kind of demand attention on behalf of the university.
And so whenever, such as like UIndy TV, like when we brand, or even just students regularly, should we be writing like UIndy in all caps? Like, do you do that?
So no need to write, like if you're writing anything like that, totally okay to continue to do the capital U, capital I, and then lowercase Indy. But even UIndy TV here has a recent rebrand, and we love it. It just, again, makes such a bold statement, and it's hard to miss. I would say that.
It is very hard to miss, and it's just, out there. Like, the U and the I being capitalized was okay, but like it is very bold and does make a statement, as you said before. I definitely do agree. So what are your and Grady's future plans? Like what's in the works for you guys? I'm so excited to see you guys have done so many amazing things with just his short arrival.
I know.
So what's to come?
Thank you. Yeah.
Of course.
So as I kind of mentioned, COVID really put a damper on everything.
Yes.
But especially, he debuted in November 20th of 2019. So we had 4 good months with him. And then we were sent home, as everyone was and should have been. And so now, just the last, I would say, 18 months, we've been able to really push him out in the community, and it's working. Community members are reaching out to his program to ask him to come and represent the university on a bigger scale. So it's great.
Yes.
But he's going to focus a lot on admissions as well. And I'm hoping that we get to deliver some acceptance letters in the future. And I don't know, 2 years ago, we started announcing, we created a video where Grady told people that they were accepted. It involved him running to different places on campus and Paul delivering something in the mail to be sent to them. It was adorable, and we love that. But there's something so special about getting a knock on your door and from Grady saying, "Congratulations, you've been accepted." So definitely looking forward to that. Continuing to grow on social media, as I'm sure you're aware, video content is booming. So that's an avenue that we are really excited to go down and explore. I feel like some of the times a video that I put so much work into for him gets okay engagement, but then him literally laying upside down, blows up. Yeah,
it's viral now.
I know, and I love that. And then, so we do have to start considering his succession plan. So it's not anytime soon necessarily, but we do need to have the plan in place so that we can, one, prove that the program is worth continuing.
Exactly.
So in the hopes of getting either another former racer or even a puppy this time. And his program alone has earned the university over $200,000 in media attention.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So, you know, the university, UIndy would have never paid $200,000 for that media, but the fact that he's doing things that earns media attention means that it's earning the university attention. So that's what his program can continue to do with a successor. And ideally, we're still planning out all the details, but if I can share my plans, I guess, I would love to see him graduate with the class and walk across the stage, and that would be like his official goodbye.
Because why did I just get goosebumps?
I know, every time I think about it, I get really emotional. But
yes, that would be so special and so amazing. And if you guys do plan to do, you know, the paw delivering, please let us know. I know we would love to keep up with you guys, like, and make, you know, a package out there, and that would be so amazing. Like, goodness, if I got my admissions letter from you, I think I would have just dropped dead right there, honestly. And so when you were at home, like during COVID, how was his life? Like, was he happy? Like, was he, you know, just...
So we pushed him pretty hard, I would think, that first 4 months, just because he was so excited and so new. But that was also the end of football season that year, the beginning of finals and the end of a semester, and then coming back and, you know, getting everyone excited. So we pushed him pretty hard. So I would say the very beginning was a nice break for him, just to kind of relax. And then he and I both really got a hold and a nice learning curve on Zoom. So he did do some admission open house where students could talk to, like he would just be on camera on Zoom meetings.
Obsessed.
Yes.
Obsessed. This whole segment, I'm just like obsessed. Like,
yeah, so it was really great. But unfortunately, like so many people are seeing right now, potentially, like eventually he just lays down.
For sure, a restful time for him.
Yes, and it was, like I said, really good to connect with the other dogs and learn how to be a dog. So when we first got him, and I'm sorry to backtrack a little.
No, that's okay.
I had to lift him up and put him in the car every day. He didn't know how to jump. He didn't know how to do stairs. He didn't know what playing with toys or fetching a ball or anything meant. So like, he's truly grown to learn how to be a dog on top of being a mascot. And then during COVID, I actually had a little girl. So he became a big brother to my daughter.
Goodness, and that is so special between a dog and like a child. Like, they are so
and he's been great.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, truly, for all of the information that you have given us and just being here today. Thank you too, Grady. I know you're taking a little nap, but you have been amazing today. Even though you, look, he peeped an eye. He's like, yeah, I'm awake, but I'm asleep.
There you are.
Again, thank you so much, Coran. You have been so amazing, and I cannot wait to see your future endeavors with Grady. I know they'll be great. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us on Good Morning Greyhounds. Have a great rest of your day. Until next time, I'm Naya Ortiz.